and thank you for taking part in my Blastoff into 2016 reading. As I've been saying in each reading, I've got my firecracker hair, as I call it, because that feels like the energy for this year. It feels like we are just really taking more command of our lives and moving forward very with this strength and integrity and knowing that we got this. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it here. The first card, each person was to choose a horizontal row of cards. So there should have been one of each type, either the top, middle, or bottom. So this is the bottom set of cards that I'm doing. The first card is from the Healing with the Fairies deck. Wow, you guys have got the energy kicked up. Yeah, the wind is just started up. It hasn't been bad. This is the overall theme for you for 2016. And I have to say I love all these readings. It's been a long time since I've done such a set of readings with so much promise and so much like expansion. That's what it feels like. It's big and it's cool. So the theme is new opportunity. I'm going to have you, if you can, pause right here, okay, and take a look at the image and see what pops out for you, and then ask yourself why that may be, okay? So when I look at this image, I'm really drawn to, not only is there light coming out from this archway that I think she's looking towards, but there's light above her too in a vortex pattern. And it's as above, so below. And so I feel the support, and I know I say this a lot, and you probably, there can be the doubting Thomas or doubting Alice inside, you know, where perhaps you don't always feel supported, but you actually are. Even perceived negative, challenging things send us in a direction that we didn't quite expect. And as I've said in the other two readings, that is where the juicy, yummy goodness is of this life, is when we need to switch the path. And so it's almost like, you know, the cosmos is supporting you in that spiral energy up above you and is calling you into a new opportunity this year. And it could be opportunities on many different fronts of life, like not necessarily one glaring area like career or home or family. It may be on many fronts, because this is big light and it's a big opening. It's a big archway. And so it really feels to me almost like an awareness changing and really looking at yourself differently. And who is the person, again, this is just coming through this way. Who is the person that you have always wanted to be? Who is the one that, you know, what are the types of people that you've always looked up to and you didn't feel like that was you? It is you. Those aspects are getting your attention for a reason, because this is a culmination year as a number 9 year, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6. 9 is the last in numerology. This is where all the wisdom racks up in your toolbox, and you open the toolbox like a treasure chest and just say, yep, I'll take that, and I think I need that. And then you put it away, but you know it's right at your fingertips if you need to change tools, okay? So who is the person that you've always wanted to be? That really feels like it's a new awakening, and that you can create for yourself the life and the persona and the being that you want. This is your life to live, okay? And to realize that that higher wisdom, that spiral above you, which really, that spiral is inside of you. It's not really above you. We sometimes think of it that way. It's very, very expanded, and it's in the divine realms as we are here, that higher self energy. It's the most, it's just a huge energy that you have access to that is so unique to you. It contains all the wisdom of your lifetimes. It contains wisdom from ascended masters and archangels and any energy, any being who has ever lived and then, passed into that higher self energy. You have access and you are all of that. So it isn't like you don't have access to Archangel Raphael or Jesus or Muhammad or whomever. You have access to all of that energy. That's all a part of your higher self. And so it's just this, it's a much, much bigger awareness. And I'm also being drawn to these little figures down here. They form a gateway. And you're looking at it. You're deciding how you're going to move forward. The color of those is the throat chakra. So this is, the blue is really calling you forward to, it's in how you communicate. It's in your creative expression. How do you want that to look? Because I think within you, that piece of you is wanting to shift. It's wanting you to shift on a really profound, big level. That archway is enormous. It's like Sistine Chapel, huge. It's big stuff. And so just looking at that gateway, and she's looking and considering. Okay, so that's where you're at right now in January. But all year long, you're going to be looking at, how do I want to shape this? And you might just slowly be moving through that archway. This is a journey. You're not like speeding to the destination. That's not the point of why we're here, okay? So that's the theme, all right? And then the feminine energy is in this Magdalene Oracle. And this is what your team is asking you to consider to give to yourself in terms of nurturing and kind of a mothering, receiving type of energy. They want you to receive this for yourself. And it is this gorgeous Sophia energy. And this feels very Kuan Yin, who was an ascended master, is an ascended master. And you can see, this feels like your heart, your soul center right here, with this beautiful flower that is opening up, and it's sending these reverberations. You can see all of these swirls, but that there's a real need as you're making these decisions, discerning for yourself how you want this new you to look in terms of communication, in terms of creative self-expression, in terms of how, really living the vision of your world, of how you want it to go, that comes from this very heart-centered, soft place. That your team just wants you to know that center. I feel like the flower has been really constricted for a long time. And it's time for that energy, because I'm seeing the little soft yellow bits. The energy from your own solar plexus, which is yellow, is helping to open up this heart center. It's like, the energy is moving up and coming to the heart. The solar plexus is right underneath the heart center. And so it's coming up and it is allowing that heart to grow. And solar plexus is about our drive and saying, yep, I can do this. And it's our willpower, it's really believing in ourselves. It's our self-esteem, our sense of self-worth. Those are things that are important for nurturing yourself to make this change happen, okay? Is to allow that flowering, that self-love, and knowing it's safe to let yourself be seen too. That's a big theme that's coming up with this set of cards as well. because I feel like she's been in a darker part of this castle or whatever it is, and she's looking into going into more of a light-based, very, very much out in the open, okay, type of place. So it's allowing that to be seen in you, and it will be with the throat chakra. I mean, that's really making it happen verbally and in your actions and just how you portray yourself in this world that others cannot miss. There's no mistaking it. So then the masculine energy, this is from the Doreen Virtue Life Purpose deck, which is very action oriented. It calls us to really consider what things could we do to bring about our highest and best good. So for you this year, interesting, Oracle cards comes up. And it's really fascinating. All of the cards for each of this set of readings have been about following some kind of a spiritual practice of some sort, tapping into your higher wisdom. The card itself says you are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Okay, what were we just talking about with this gal who's looking at that archway? She's discerning in order to make decisions, these little guideposts of how am I going to do this? I'm going to go through that archway and I'm going to be seen. And how do I want that to look? And so you're doing a lot of discerning. So I have a couple of suggestions when it comes to the Oracle cards. Definitely a sense of discernment. You can either, call upon somebody who reads Oracle cards, or you, better yet, could start using them yourself. And I do teach a class on how to do Oracle cards if you'd like to learn my method. But there's also other Doreen Virtue offers an online course for learning how to do work with Oracle cards. I think the biggest thing of all, with Oracle cards, it just gives you access as you're beginning to open your intuition. You get access to that broader wisdom that is yours, and I think that will be helpful as you're considering this new you that is wanting to come out. The fact that she's discerning from many options there, and epiphanies can come to you the more options that you have. It is amazing to me when I look at how my life and my business and everything has transpired. And much of that was based on work with Oracle cards because it opened, I'm a very visual person, so it opened new doorways for me to consider. So really think about whether or not you might want to start using some type of a tool to help you discern and tap into that higher wisdom as an action step this coming year. And Oracle cards is just one of those. Certainly meditation, learning to dowse, runes is another good one. There's many options. People get inspiration and wisdom through practicing yoga. And I brought up in all the readings for some reason these adult coloring books. I think that practice of anything that quiets the mind, it allows you to open that intuition. And so that really feels like the message in terms of action is about opening your intuition and finding the type of tool that is going to get you there, because the energies are all supporting this. We're done with being afraid and feeling like these are evil tools or any of that business. That's accessing your divine wisdom that is yours and yours alone. That there is nothing evil about that. And so it's really stepping out and not being afraid to use whatever means feels right and of high integrity, high vibe, to get at your own wisdom. And once you get started, then you figure out a path to tap in a more strong, fully connected way. So just really think about that this year, and overall looks like a huge year of growth for all of us, which is so exciting. That's why I call it the firecracker year. So thank you so much for your support this year. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful year ahead.